Jay Crawford, Adam the Bull, Garrett Bush, and so many big names, it would take me hours to say all of their names. The ultimate Cleveland sports show. Booyah!
Hey, here we are on the Ultimate Cleveland Sports Show. It's Tuesday. I'm here. G. Bush is here. Earl is here. Earl.
The Pearl.
Hey,
how you doing?
Earl the Pearl, a.k.a. the Swing Vote, is in the building. That's a cold name. The Swing Vote?
The Swing Vote.
That's actually
crazy.
a great nickname. That is
vote?
a great nickname.
Speaking
like
of voting, today is a
Yes.
weird election day in Ohio.
Kinda, right?
So make sure if you haven't done so already, go protect your rights and vote no on issue 1. That's the only thing on the ballot today. Vote no on issue 1. Mike is here, of course. He's
What
back
is
from his
what
one
is
week.
issue 1?
You don't know what issue 1 is?
I just got back from Europe. I have not seen anything.
What do you
going
mean?
on.
This has been talked about for months and months. You just got back from Europe.
It gets rid of majority consent.
So, what issue 1 is?
I stay out of politics completely.
Okay.
I try to be as oblivious in a bubble,
That's
avoid
that's
all
a
of
bad
it
thing.
totally.
That's a bad thing. Even if you were on the other side or whatever side you on, get involved. They're your rights. They're going to make rules based on your life. Be involved.
Right now, if there is a person, if the rank and file people of Ohio want to change something in the state constitution, if they get enough signatures, it goes on the ballot. If it gets 50% plus 1 vote, it passes, whatever it may be, right? And then it becomes the law. The state legislature is trying to change that to it would take 60% of people, which would not happen because nothing really passes at that high a percentage. So there's a lot of things that have passed over the years that have been started by the rank and file people of the state of Ohio that have passed between 50.1 and 59%, and that would all be out the window. This is being done for one specific reason, because there's a measure on the ballot on the regular election day in November to keep abortion legal in Ohio, and that's why it's been put on, even though, so anyway, so vote no and keep your own rights is what I'm saying. So I know a lot of people have been doing that already, but keep voting if you haven't voted yet. All right, Mikey McNuggets, besides issue 1, what are the other issues with you today?
It's been a good morning.
Yes.
Woke up. It was sunny.
Glad you woke up. It would have been a bad morning if you didn't wake up.
On time today, which always helps. We were all in early, got our stuff done.
Yeah.
Anthony turns 26 tomorrow.
Oh, look at that.
So this is the last day of young Anthony's first quarter of his life. I anticipate him living to 100,
do you now have to get off your parents' insurance at 26?
Yes, but I've been off of it for 3 months now, something like that.
You
know this
big
man
boy.
Gonna tell me I say, man, it's your last day being 25. He said, well, technically, I got until 11:08 tomorrow night. I'm like, it don't work like that.
We got beef with that.
It don't work like that.
No, I think Anthony's right. Technically, he's not 26 years old until the moment he was born.
So if he comes to work tomorrow and nobody wishes him a happy birthday, he shouldn't feel bad because.
Because
so on his 21st birthday, he couldn't buy a beer till 11:02 a.m.
That's not the law. That's not the law. However, tomorrow is his birthday. It is his birthday, but technically he's not 26 years old until.
So are you advocating that his birthday actually starts at 11:07 p.m. and runs till the next day and ends at 11:06?
That's not what I'm saying.
Bad job out of you, Bull.
It is his birthday the entire day, but technically he's not 26 years old till 11 whatever.
So
PM.
is he should he
I
not
don't even know what time I was
gifts?
born. Do any of the others you know?
I was born at 6:38 p.m. on a Wednesday, November
8:43
16,
a.m.
1987.
You know this?
On Mother's Day.
Gee, do you know when you were born?
I don't give a shit about nobody's birthday.
All I gotta say is I'm going to Nickelback tomorrow.
You know the minute they were born.
But you a grown.
How weird is that?
You a grown man. The only birthday you celebrate is when you get to vote, which is 18, when you get your driver's license with 16, or when you get to legally drink. Every other birthday after that, that is placebo.
What about the ones before that? I'm talking about the one with
when you're a kid.
when you're first born.
I don't remember that.
And by the way,
no.
let me give advice to everybody out there who doesn't have kids or may have very young kids. Having a birthday party for a 1 or 2 year old is a total waste of time.
It's a party
it's
for the parents.
you.
It's the party is for you.
Yeah, you're just like, look at my child.
It's so stupid.
Look at my baby. My baby is here. Now, as we say it, usually wives get involved with that. Usually the wife is like, oh, no, we're going to have a party.
Right. Because they've been doing most of the hard work.
They've been doing the heavy lifting. I'm going to show off what I've done.
Most men are useless with babies for the first 2 years. Most men. Not all. I'm including myself in that. I was fairly useless the first 2 years of my son's life.
Yeah, it's kind
and so are most men, if you're honest about it. By the way, for those who may be pregnant right now, or maybe the first year sucks. There's no doubt. If everybody's honest, are you honest, Earl? Will you admit the first year sucks?
What, of being a parent?
Yeah.
Yeah, especially when it's your first child. Yeah.
Yeah. First year sucks. So be prepared for that. Nobody's honest about it. We are here on this show. Go ahead, Mike.
One thing I just thought of.
If I wait 3 more years, I'm getting a nanny. If I get do not let my expendable income get over a certain. I will not feel bad at all about having a midwife.
Yeah.
I just thought of this tomorrow. I'm going to add it to the rundown.
Yeah.
5 things that Anthony loves for his birthday that people that don't interact with Anthony every day wouldn't know. So we're going to do the top 5 things Anthony loves secretly behind the scenes.
All right.
For a little special top 5. It'll be. I'm not going to throw you under the bus. I'm talking
throw
about.
him under the bus.
No.
There's nothing for
Hey,
to
can we
throw
get
anything
the
under the
50
bus
Cent
about.
in the club music bed for the Morrow show? For the Morrow show?
I think we could play 2.5 seconds before we max out our budget on what you can do for like popular songs like that. So.
You know, you don't want to owe 50 money.
No, that's not the guy you want to owe money.
Crazy.
No, definitely not. Is it time to start panicking about the Browns' defensive line? Is that what we're getting to right now?
We are. And before we do that, I just want to say thank you to everyone out here who's tuning in, watching us on a daily basis. The numbers the last couple of weeks through football season have already skyrocketed. We're about to do crazy big things with the upcoming football season, so appreciate you guys. If you haven't hit that like button, hit the like button, become a subscriber, and we will continue to put out the best content humanly possible for Browns fans across the country. And with that, Bull.
I know Cam in Canada said he's back into us.
I
didn't know he was out on us.
Yeah, he was out on us for a little bit.
Cam in Canada was out on us?
He wasn't out on me. That's my boy.
I don't know where
he wasn't out on me.
That's not something to be that proud of.
I'm just saying, man.
Did he go back to Canada?
I don't know. Why was he out on us?
So I had a nice heart-to-heart with Cam. I hope I'm not going to say anything.
I think
Cam
you've been
doesn't
pissing
want,
him off, boy. That's what yeah, you've been pissing him off.
No,
boy.
it was you a little bit. It was a little bit of Jason, a little bit of Jay, but he just thought overall. I want to paraphrase this properly.
Are we really taking this seriously? I was joking around. You had a real conversation about this?
I had a real conversation with Cam. Yeah, he said we weren't looking optimistically enough at the upcoming season for the Browns.
Oh my God.
So like I said,
we need to cater to every. I like Cam in Canada, but he's a lunatic. Every tweet he puts, 9 out of every 10 tweets he puts out there are ludicrous. No.
He puts out some really good stuff.
I think he's like purposely trolling people.
Yes,
I think he knows.
Oh yeah, he's an A1 like A+.
He is a good troller, and people take it seriously.
Yeah, they do.
They be jumping off.
But I'm not completely sure he doesn't believe some of the crazy stuff he puts out there.
He puts out some really smart football stuff, though, from time to time.
You might be a bigger troll.
In with the trolls, he's got some really good takes.
I never troll.
But Bull's GIFs responses to tweets are hilarious.
That's what they be getting.
He'd be like, no.
It'd be the tweets it'd be the off-kilter tweets off the show that be really getting. I'm like, who you getting in an argument with over on Twitter? Just random dudes. It'd be randoms.
Yeah. Anyway, Cam in Canada, we're glad you're back. You're back in!
Locked in, Cam.
Hopefully I don't say anything today that chases him out. We don't want him out. We want him in.
Well, I'm a little pessimistic about these DNs.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, let's get to it. As Mary Kay reported yesterday, Alex Wright, Isaiah McGuire, both were injured, one during the preseason game against the Jets, the next in Saturday's practice, and will be out for, quote, an extended period of time, according to Kevin Stefanski, both with knee injuries. The Browns signed Charles Wiley for a camp body. Are you starting to worry that the Browns' defensive end depth is dwindling before the start of the real preseason even begins?
Who gives a shit? Are you kidding me?
I do it.
Come on, these guys are nobodies. I'm gonna
bye Cam.
What's that?
We've lost Cam.
How have we lost him? I'm being positive, Cam. You should be back in. I'm saying that the Browns are fine. They don't need these two schlep dicks. What are you talking about? I'm going to get worked up. They just signed some nobody off a practice squad. Good for him. Let him play well. Do they still have their top 3 pass rushers?
Yes.
Okay. Were their 4th, 5th, and 6th pass rushers last year even NFL players? No. The great Lonnie Phelps is still around.
Lonnie Phelps. That sounds like a DH that played for the Phillies. Lonnie Phelps.
That really does.
Like, he just...
Now batting.
I don't know who
That might
the hell
be
that
Jeff's
is.
son.
Might be. It might be.
I mean, I'm not worried about this, guys. I'm not panicking. They got their 3 best guys. That's all that matters. They'll find other guys. You're not going to use more than maybe 5 defensive ends. 6 maybe, but I think that's pushing it. The 3 top guys, they're going to play most of the snaps. I know, in a perfect situation, you like to rotate a lot, and certainly Jim Schwartz likes to do that. But I don't think those guys are really anything with anything. I think you can find other guys that are just as good.
So here's why I think it's a big deal. Is it enough of a big deal to like jump off a building? No. But is it concerning? Yes. When I play defensive end, when you get a coach change and you go from a position where you're trying to move around, we went from a 3-4 to a 4-3, and what I was up there doing was just basically taking up blocks. I wasn't trying to penetrate. I wasn't trying to make plays. Our job was to keep linebackers free. When we switched from that year to a 3-4 to a 4-3, they were asking me to do a lot more than I was, used to. When I was up there now, I had to lose about 20 pounds. I had to work on my conditioning. I had to learn to get upfield, and I had to learn to play with max effort every single play. One of the things that we get with Myles Garrett, and a lot of people have been talking about it, is Myles Garrett, hey, he slows down at the end of the year. Hey, it looks like he still doesn't have his conditioning. Hey, he doesn't look right after COVID. Why is Myles Garrett's sack totals down? Za'Darius Smith has 10 sacks, or almost 10 sacks, basically, through the first half of the year, tailed off at the end of the year because he had injuries. So what do you think is going to happen if you don't have depth? What's going to happen? That's going to be on the table again this year. You also got to realize this. We always talk about you got to have your players stepping up when you drafted. We can't fill every position with free agents. We can't go sign everybody. Mm-hmm. Alex Wright, 3rd round pick. Mm-hmm. You look at Isaiah Thomas, he was a draft pick of yours, I believe, in the 7th round. Mm-hmm. And when you look at across the board and the level of talent and the level of production you're getting from your draft classes is 0. Alex Wright, Isaiah Thomas, you're not getting anything. David Bell is a 3rd round pick. Schwartz is a 3rd round pick. Jordan Elliott is a 3rd round pick. I just gave you 5 people, and these guys haven't given you anything. So now when you look at the production and when you go to other teams have guys that they've slotted in towards their draft picks that are going to do something. They know the system. They're banking on those guys, and it builds depth. Now we got to go to the scrap heap, find 2 more DNs, and now we're asking Myles Garrett to be Superman again if these guys aren't playing.
But I don't think so, because you got 2 guys that you brought in who are good pass rushers. You're not asking Myles Garrett to do what you asked him to do last year when there was not another good pass rush.
Well, yes, you are, because here's what's going to happen.
Yeah.
When you bring in those secondary, this Phillips and Wiley guy, Jim Schwartz wants to run like he was running in Philly.
Yeah.
When you look at what Philly is doing at that high level, when you look at and they got Nolan Smith, they got guys up there that is top 5 picks, and they brought back their whole roster almost. That's what he wants to do. You got to have guys playing effort, fast. The skill set of these guys is not going to be able to play like that.
But some of the guys you mentioned that are not contributing are the guys that are hurt. So is it any different than it was before these injuries? And how long are these guys out for, Mike?
Extended periods of time.
Extended time, Mary Kay said up into the season potentially. So this is done for camp at least.
I just think they're guys who are fringe roster players. I'm not going to get worked up about it. Earl?
I don't know, man. They say when a soldier go down, the army itself loses its strength, right? Alex Wright was a 3rd round pick, a guy that Kevin Stefanski and Andrew Berry was very, very high on, a guy that they felt like had a lot of raw talent, but over a couple seasons they felt like he could be molded into a pretty solid player to come off the defensive line. You look at Isaiah Thomas, a guy who was a 7th round pick and seems to make some noise. It seemed like every time that he was on the field last year, I can remember seeing his number or just hearing his name or seeing him always around the ball. So they might not be major contributors now, but like I said, these are depth pieces, right? They're part of the Army. And when you lose pieces,
but injuries, every team has injuries.
Every team has
part of the game.
I'm not saying every team don't have injuries, but what I'm saying is when you look at these two guys in particular, I think that they were looking at Alex Wright to take a major step forward in year 2. They felt like Isaiah Thomas could have been a contributing role player. I don't necessarily, if I view these particular players to be fringe guys. I think these guys that were going to be rotational guys. Were they not at
best the 4th and 5th defensive ends?
They were rotational guys.
Okay, so, I mean.
So Alex Wright was making the team. Isaiah Thomas was definitely on the potential to be cut list.
Yeah.
But Alex Wright was a lot.
Alex Wright was definitely on the team.
But he was their 4th defensive end.
But that doesn't mean he wasn't going to play.
I didn't say he wasn't going to play, but guys, in the end, if you can't, if your 4th defensive end getting hurt is a big deal, your team's not good enough. Bottom line.
If your 4th, that's your 2nd team.
But every team's got injuries right now. Every team.
Yeah,
right?
that's part of the game.
And so like you guys seem more upset about this than I'm like Joe Burrow.
I'm not upset. No, I'm not upset.
If Joe Burrow doesn't play, Bengals season is over. I might as well.
I'm not upset. But the reality is, like, these are guys that were on the team already, that had chemistry with the players already, that already knew the system. Anytime anybody on any team get hurt, it impacts the team.
So, but if every team is being impacted, then it's not a big deal.
Well, look, here's the thing. We talking about specifically the Cleveland Browns.
Yeah.
And what do you do once you are impacted? So there's a plan. Right now in Cincinnati, they're probably talking about that. They're saying,
the plan's irrelevant, though, because if Burrow don't play, their season's over.
But you still have to talk about when he's coming back.
Right.
What's the plan? Does he play the first game? Yeah. It's nuanced. It's not like, oh, guys, he's injured. So for the Cleveland Browns right now, here's the problem you have. You got Myles Garrett, you got Za'Darius Smith, you got Obo, right? That's 3 defensive ends. That's great. But if that is if the predication of your whole team is we are counting on our defensive linemen to be the best group on the field, and you lose 2 of your second team defensive ends, that's crazy. Because it's not like if it was linebacker, they've proven that they think the linebacker is not what's important in his scheme. But defensive line, they went out and drafted, and they've drafted a defensive lineman every single year. So now that is important. I need me another end today.
Let me ask you this question. On a scale of 1 to 10, with 10 being panic and 1 being no deal, what is this?
Go ahead.
I'm about a 4.
Oh, my God.
I'm going to tell you why I'm about a 4. You can, oh my God, but boy, here's the reality, right? Za'Darius Smith, great pass rusher. But he dealt with a knee injury.
Yep.
And no matter, everybody talk about the 10 or 11 sacks. I think he had like 9 or 10 sacks in his first 8 games.
Yep.
Yeah.
He tailored it off and finished with like 1 or 2 sacks over the rest of the course of the season. I'm not expecting Za'Darius Smith to be in there on every single down.
Yeah.
Ogbo is still growing as a player. Raw talent, not that big of a dude. So depending on the matchup, you might not even see him in there. Anytime that you lose somebody that was supposed to be a rotational piece, like those things matter. We can talk about the big 3 all we want to, but at the end of the day, it's always those other guys and their contribution that gets you over the hump.
Gee, what's your grade? What's your grade?
I give it a 5. Because let me tell you, let me just show you the difference in levels to this, right?
Yeah.
Take a look at what the Eagles have done. They went out and they got Brandon Graham back. They signed Fletcher Cox back. Jalen Carter is a top 10 pick. One of the most. So he's.
Well, what does the Eagles have to do with anything?
Because I'm showing you. Watch this.
Show me.
Josh Sweat. They got him back in the mix. And that's just in their alignment. But they blitz and bring edge rushers. Hassan Reddick is their outside linebacker. Now look, that's 5 dudes right there that are monsters.
But the Browns, it's not like the Browns lost monsters, though.
Hold on. We keep going.
They lost guys.
Nolan Smith is backing up Hassan Reddick, who runs the listen. So and we can keep Jordan Davis. Jordan Davis is a guy here.
What this has to do with the Browns, though.
What it has to do with is you're counting the big 3.
Yeah.
I'm showing you contenders.
I'm not saying 4 or 5 are not important at all.
But what I'm saying,
if they had good guys, these are just guys.
Hold on. But here's the thing. Those guys are better than the guys they're bringing off. These guys are off the street. These guys ain't coming off the draft. These off the street.
The guys off the street, some veterans off the street might be better than those 2 guys who you get.
No.
So is it for you? You don't think they're good? Is that why you see it as no big deal?
They're just guys until proven otherwise. They're just guys. That's a fact.
If you here, what I'm trying to prove to you is, there are 9 different dudes on here for the Philadelphia Eagles,
right,
who are a contending team, a top-notch defense.
Yeah.
And what I'm trying to show you is,
and how many do the Browns have?
3.
And with these 2 guys, they have more than 3.
At least with Alex Wright, you had 4.
No, you don't, because he's proven nothing.
But here, what I'm
nothing.
What I'm saying to you is,
G just said it 2 minutes ago. He's done nothing on the field. What I'm
saying to you is, if you draft a guy and he's a rookie, you're not gonna get a world beater rookie.
Yeah.
You're not gonna get guys that's gonna come get 13 sacks as a rookie. What I'm saying to you is, they are counting on these guys. If you listen to Schwartz, you listen to the team. Those guys are impact dudes. Let me give you an example. I was playing for McKinley. We won the state championship. The guy that's in front of me, Kenny Peterson, played multiple years in the NFL, went to Ohio State. He was part of the team that beat Miami. He was a defensive player of the year 2 years in a row. I did not play till my junior year. Kenny Peterson left, and a lot of people was like, hey, they're going to be trash. They're not going to win another championship. That's a wrap.
Okay.
People would say, oh, no, they got G. Bush and this other defensive end over here. And they were like, well, we haven't seen him play.
Right.
But here's the thing. People that were in the program, people that was around it, knew. We came back that next year, and guess what? You got guys that are hungry. You got guys that want to prove themselves, and there's a lineage involved. Me and the other defensive end, both of us went D1. He went to Indiana, I went to OU. We won another state championship. What I'm saying to you is, great teams find guys, develop them, and build depth.
Agreed. And that's why great teams don't worry when they have injuries like this. And I think you guys have been so scarred by rooting for a shit team for your entire life, basically, that you think injuries like this matter. On good teams, injuries like this are irrelevant. If the Browns are a good team, if they truly are a good team and a good defense, then injuries, an injury to Myles Garrett, big deal. An injury to Denzel Ward, big deal. You know, guys that are the top players, big deal. But guys like this, who are 4th and 5th defensive linemen, you got to be. If you can't replace those guys, you're not good enough. That's just how I see it.
You got 2 guys getting injured at one time.
Right.
Back a couple years ago, the Ravens had both of their corners go down. The nickel corner, and one of their starters go down.
Yeah.
Guess what? That's debilitating.
But that's starters, G. That's not the same as this. This is the 4th and 5th defensive linemen.
But
those are really good players you're talking about.
But that's where you win. You win in the margins. You don't. Everybody has top 5 players.
I agree. You win in the margins to some degree, but the good teams can replace those guys in the margins if they have good coaches and they have good scouting. And to your point, there's first of all, there's plenty of time to get. If you bring guys off the street now. The season don't start for a month. There's plenty of time to get them up to speed.
There's some interesting names still out there.
Point. Yeah. How do you replace these guys?
Well, gee, I'm glad you said that. I scoured the internet for 4 names who I think are still out there who could be at least a camp body for the Browns. Steve, you want to take this graphic full? We're going to potential reunion with Jadeveon Clowney or Melvin Ingram.
G. Bush.
How about G. Bush?
Before I put
how about G. Bush? That is how thin the veteran defensive end market is right now for guys who have at least proven something on the field. Let me just ask you this.
Yeah.
Is there any world, any scenario, any universe where you'd welcome Jadeveon Clowney back to the Browns?
No, I'd rather have G. Bush playing than Jadeveon Clowney.
I wouldn't. Like, to me, how he handled the whole Myles Garrett situation, that just left a sour taste in my mouth. You can't bring him back. That's a toxic situation altogether. But a guy like Robert Quinn, who's out there, can be a nice camp body. But at the same time, man, Andrew Berry, man, there's more than one way to skin a cat, right? Andrew Berry can kind of get on the phone and make a couple moves via trade if he have to. But I don't know, boy. I think you underestimating maybe what the team think of a guy like Alex Wright.
Well, we don't know what the team really thinks of him.
Have you watched Alex Wright play? Have you listened to the things that they've talked about since he's been a member? I'm asking you a question. Yes or no?
It's irrelevant.
Yes or no? Yes or no?
Of course I've watched him.
Yes or no? But have you listened to the things that Andrew Berry and Kevin to you it's irrelevant.
That's irrelevant.
But to you it's irrelevant. Wait, boy, I'm just trying. No, boy, I gotta finish my point.
Go ahead.
All I'm telling you is I've heard Kevin Stefanski speak of this man. I've heard Andrew Berry speak of this man. I've heard the coaches speak of him.
And have they said anything bad about any players?
No, they haven't.
Of
But
course
I'm
not. So it's
telling
irrelevant
you,
what they
this is
say.
a dude that was a third-round pick that was a rookie last year, and when he got his opportunities towards the later part of the season, he played better. You're dismissing it like he's not going to make any type of impact.
He's minimal impact. He's
Minimal, but he's a rotational guy.
I know
in
that.
a system that they're going to rotate 10 defensive linemen.
Good teams lose players.
I'm
like
talking
him
about the
all
Browns.
time.
I'm talking about the Browns.
G keeps bringing up examples of other teams.
I'm talking about the Browns, man.
Okay.
I'm saying, like, Alex Wright,